She shouldn't have survived those wounds. But Cora Hale was sitting up in the infirmary just 3 hours after collapsing. Maris Venn stood by the medical scanner, arms crossed, trying to stay calm. "You lost over 60% blood volume," she said quietly. "Your spine was fractured, internal organs ruptured. No one survives that without full nanite regrowth." Cora didn't look at her. She was watching a child draw on the wall across the room, the daughter of an alien technician who died during the attack. "I told you," Cora said. "I've died before." Maris didn't know what to believe anymore. But one thing was clear. If Cora was part of a transfer, she wasn't a normal soldier. She was something else. Later, Maris sat alone in her quarters, scrolling through the highest level data she could access. She had bypass clearance after 3 wars. She could see almost anything. Almost. When she typed, "Cora Hale," she got nothing but this. "Access denied, file classified by Earth Defense Council." Tear Black. Maris blinked. She'd never seen Tear Black before, not even during the siege of Clyron. Then she tried a different approach. Cross-reference Earth transfers. Unofficial. Encrypted routes. One file appeared. Project Thanatos. Human emotion suppression for combat. Unit status. Terminated date. 39 galactic years ago. Result. Failure. Units unstable. Most destroyed. 1 unaccounted for. Maris froze. 1 unaccounted for. Meanwhile, Commander Roth sat in the war room, alone with Cora's bloodied uniform. He had seen that black patch before. He had served in the silent rebellion on the edge of the black zones where no comms worked. Back then, Earth had done something dark. They were losing the war, so they tried to reshape their soldiers, not with weapons, not with AI, with something ancient. They called it Thanatos Protocol, named after death itself. And it had worked. Once. Just 1 subject lived. Just 1 came back. And now, she was on his station. That night, Cora stood alone on the outer deck. Staring at the stars, Maris approached slowly. "They'll come back," Cora said. Maris didn't ask how she knew. "They fear you," she said instead. Cora nodded. "Not me. What I remind them of." "What's that?" Cora looked up, her voice low. "Human pain. Human revenge. They don't understand it. They thought if they erased our memories, they erased the rage." Maris stared. "You mean the project?" "Didn't work." Cora gave a broken smile. "It worked too well. They erased fear, guilt, doubt, but not grief. Not love." She looked at her hands. And without fear, grief becomes something else. 2 days passed. The station tried to return to normal. Repairs were slow. Morale was worse. Every species on board, Telsari, Draxians, even the Illan, from the gas worlds, whispered the same question. Who was the human transfer? Roth sent daily reports to Earth, but there was no reply. That was strange. Then the message came. Encrypted. No origin. "Keep her isolated. Do not trust her. Project Thanatos is not dead." Roth read it twice. Then he deleted it. Down in engineering, Cora was helping rebuild the fusion core. She moved with precision, not like a machine, like someone who knew what would break before it did. She didn't talk much, but one Telsari engineer, Vryn, asked gently, "You were part of something. Old, weren't you?" Cora looked at him. "I was what they created to end war." "Did it work?" She shook her head. "I ended battles, not wars." Then she looked at the reactor's humming light. Wars. Always find a new face. Maris couldn't sleep. The more she dug, the more she uncovered shadows. She found whispers of ghost brigades, black ships with no registry, soldiers who never spoke. She found footage from old battle zones, grainy images of humans standing still while gunfire tore around them, moving only when needed, never missing. And in one video, just for a second, she saw Cora, hair shorter, face younger, but the eyes were the same, dead and still alive. She wasn't just dangerous. She was designed to be what the galaxy fears most, a human, with nothing left to. On the third day, a diplomatic ship approached the station. It didn't ask for permission. It just docked. Roth sent security. Inside, only one figure stepped out, a pale woman with silver implants, her eyes glowing dim blue. She wore a Galactic Council insignia. "I'm here for the transfer," she said coldly. "Cora Hale is no longer your concern." Roth crossed his arms. "Says who?" The woman held up a data rod. "This comes from Earth itself." But Roth noticed something strange. The Earth symbol was wrong. Slightly altered, slightly older. An outdated version, one not used for over 30 years. He didn't show his suspicion. Instead, he said, "She's in medical. I'll take you." But Cora wasn't in medical. She was watching. She had seen the ship arrive. Seen the council agent. And she remembered that face. Not from war, from training. That woman was her handler, from when they taught her how to shut off pain, from when they taught her how to kill what she loved. And now, she was back. In the shadows of the maintenance hall, Maris met Cora. "They're here for you." Cora nodded. "They're not council," she whispered. "They're what's left of the program. They want to bring it back." Maris stepped back. "Then we need to run." But Cora grabbed her wrist. "No, if I run, they'll follow. If they follow, they'll burn every station I pass." She looked into Maris's eyes. "Help me end this. For real this time." Maris hesitated, then she nodded. Together they moved fast, through dark corridors, past locked doors. Cora knew the layout better than anyone. She wasn't running. She was setting a trap. In the command center, Roth stalled the silver-eyed woman. But then the lights flickered, sirens blared. "Level 9 lockdown, what's going on?" the woman demanded. Roth just smiled faintly. "She says hi." Then the floor dropped from beneath them, a manual override into the decon shaft. Deep in the old AI chamber, Cora waited. The council agent entered, alone now, weapon drawn. "You should have died with the others," she hissed. Cora said nothing. She just stepped forward, one step, then another. "You feel things now, don't you?" The woman sneered. "They broke you." Cora raised her hand, not to strike, but to show. Inside her palm was a chip, a memory core, her own. She had taken it out, the final part of Thanatos. "I'm not broken," she whispered. "I'm free." Then everything went white. MP burst. Memory wipe. Only one person walked out of that room, and she wasn't carrying the chip anymore. The room was silent. The EMP had cleared. Systems rebooted slowly across the station. Cora Hale stood in the center of the AI chamber, eyes closed, breathing heavy. Maris entered first, cautiously. "You okay?" she asked. Cora didn't answer. She was listening not to sounds but to something deeper. A memory. A voice that wasn't hers. A man's voice. Calm. Controlled. "Unit 9A, activate Ghost Protocol." Her eyes opened. She whispered. They turned it on. Up in the command center, Commander Roth stared at his console. Something massive was pinging long-range sensors. Ships, not one, not 10, but hundreds. No transponder signals. No planetary registration. They were moving in formation. Silently. From the dead rim, Roth enlarged the data. Their command frequency matched Earth's encryption. But the signature was old. 40 years outdated. Only one project ever used it. Ghost Fleet Omega. Ships created for one thing. To fight when no humans remained alive to command them. They were automated. Unresponsive to standard orders. Unless triggered by a living signal. From Project Thanatos. And now, they were moving toward Cora Hale's location. Back in the medbay, Cora was quiet as Maris scanned her. "You're healthy," Maris said, "but your brain scans are different. New patterns. Areas lighting up that weren't before." Cora touched her temple. I remember places I've never been. She looked down. I remember dying. 3 times. But it wasn't me. It was them. Other units. Maris froze. You mean their memories? Cora nodded. They fed all the failed test subjects into one program, into one body. She looked up. I wasn't the only one. I'm just the one that didn't break. Outside, civilians began to panic. The fleet was close, enough now to see on long-range visuals. No lights, no insignias. Just dark Earth-made warships, hundreds, flying in silence. Cora watched them on the screen. They're not here to help, she said. Roth frowned. Then what do they want? Cora's voice dropped low. They want me to come home. Back in the hidden sectors of the station, Maris searched old logs. She accessed the raw files from Cora's last encounter, the EMP blast, the shutdown of the AI room, and something strange. Right before the memory chip fried itself, it sent out one final signal. Not a message. A command, a trigger signal, the kind that could wake a fleet. Fleet Omega. She gasped. Cora didn't just destroy her past, she accidentally reactivated it. That night, Cora stood alone in the hangar, watching the Ghost Fleet hold position above. The planet. No movement, no aggression, just a message, pulsing in old binary light from the command ship. Unit 9A, retrieve, restart, return. She clenched her fists. Return to what? The pain? The empty training rooms? The killing with no reason? Maris joined her. You don't have to go. Cora didn't turn. If I don't, they'll come down here. They'll kill everyone to get me. There must be another way. Cora finally looked at her. There always was. That's what scares them. Suddenly, the Ghost Fleet moved, just a few degrees, but it was enough. Stations across nearby. Systems began going dark. Not attacked, just hacked, disabled. Roth slammed his hand on the table. They're sending a warning. They're reminding us what they can do without firing a shot. Cora stepped into the room. Then I'll give them a message back. Minutes later, she stood at the emergency uplink chamber, an old manual station untouched since the war. She placed her hand on the pad. Let it scan her. The computer whirred to life. Welcome back, Unit 9A. Voice print confirmed. Control. Access granted. Maris stood behind her, speechless. Cora didn't smile. She just said 3 words. Override fleet behavior. The console buzzed violently. Command denied. Override requires full neural sync. Cora nodded. She turned to Maris. This may kill me. Maris grabbed her arm. Don't. But Cora was already placing the neural jack into her skull. A deep click. Then, darkness. She was somewhere else now, floating, in the network, in them. She saw every ship, every drone, every failed memory, every other version of herself locked in code, crying, dying, killing. All of them wanted out, and she was the key, the one who still had a heart. End protocol, she whispered in the network. Free them. 1. By 1, the systems collapsed. Ships lost formation. Power cores powered down. Every memory copy, deleted. Every echo, silenced. Back in the real world, Roth watched the screen. The Ghost Fleet stopped. One by one, they went dark. No weapons, no threats, just drifting. Empty, at last. Cora fell to the floor. Alive, barely, but free. Maris rushed to her side, tears in her eyes. You did it, she whispered. Cora looked up. No, we did. But as systems came back online, a final alert pinged across the station. Something the fleet left behind. A single pod. No ID, no power, just floating. And inside, a child, human eyes glowing faint blue and branded on her arm. Unit 9B. The child was small, no older than 7. But when the station's med team opened the pod, silence fell across the room. Her eyes, ice blue, glowing faintly in the dark. Her skin, too perfect. Synthetic? No. Grown. But it was the mark on her arm that made Cora freeze in place. Unit 9B, the follow-up model, the one they were never supposed to activate. Cora stood still as the girl stared at her. No fear, just recognition. "You're broken," the girl said in a flat voice. "But that's, why you lived." Cora knelt slowly. "What's your name?" "I don't need one," she replied. "They didn't give us names," Maris whispered behind Cora. "This child isn't just a clone. She's a failsafe." Cora's eyes narrowed. "A replacement." Commander Roth sat at the round table with his senior officers. His tone was low, serious. "She's not a normal child. Medical scans show enhanced cell regeneration, fused neural implants, and, most worrying, a memory matrix copied from classified archives." Maris added, "She remembers things Cora doesn't. Whole conversations, training sequences, project secrets." "Could she be dangerous?" Roth asked. Cora didn't blink. "She already is." In the quiet hours of the night cycle, Cora sat, with the girl, Unit 9B, in the observatory. Stars blinked outside the glass. "You were born in darkness," Cora said softly. "So were you," the child replied. Cora looked down. "I tried to break the cycle, to end what they made me do." The girl tilted her head. "But what if that cycle was the only thing keeping the galaxy alive?" Cora turned sharply. "What do you mean?" The child looked back at the stars. Project Thanatos was never shut down. It just moved off the grid. "You were the test. I am the weapon." The next day, ships began vanishing near the border zones. Not destroyed, erased. No signals, no escape pods, no wreckage. Entire patrols disappeared. And then, a message arrived, encrypted in Earth's oldest war codes, but not from Earth, from the deep black zone, where no human colony was ever allowed to go, where rumors said something older than AI still waited. Cora met with Roth and Maris again. "This is retaliation," Roth said. "The fleet shutdown triggered a backup plan," Maris added. "The child may not even know what she carries. She could be a living key, a beacon." They all turned to Cora. "What do we do?" Cora answered without hesitation. "We go dark." The station's lights dimmed. All external signals ceased. They shut down all non-essential systems. The galaxy thought the station was gone. But inside, Cora was preparing for the truth. She brought the girl into the lower tech bay, a place no one went anymore. Rusty, cold, silent. Cora stood before an old vault door, paint peeling, words barely visible. Project Thanatos, Core Archive. The girl stepped forward. She didn't need a code. The door opened by itself. Inside, it was like stepping into a frozen time capsule, cryo chambers lined. The walls, most were cracked, others empty, but one console still glowed with faint life. The girl touched it. The screen lit up. Unit 9B, welcome home. Awaiting final launch signal. Cora's blood ran cold. Launch what? The girl looked at her, eyes too calm. The second wave. The real fleet. Outside the station, hidden far beyond any sensors, something began to move. Massive engines powered up. Ships unlike anything built by Earth or the aliens. Long, angular, covered in obsidian black armor. Thousands of them. And at the center, one, capital ship the size of a city. Unmarked. Unknown. But deeply human. And it was waking up. Meanwhile, in a distant alien Senate hall, species from across the stars gathered in panic. The humans promised peace, a scaled ambassador hissed. They lied, barked another. The program was supposed to be shut down. But the oldest among them, a pale, four-eyed being with centuries of knowledge, spoke softly. They didn't lie. They warned us. The room fell silent. Humans always grieve. But when they remember what they lost, they act. Back on the station, Maris confronted Cora. "You can't protect her forever. She's a child," Cora shot back. "No," Maris said. "She's a weapon designed to finish what Earth started." Cora turned away. "And what if she doesn't want to?" Maris shook her head. "Then why is the fleet moving?" That night, the girl approached Cora in her quarters. She climbed onto the edge of the bed, small hands clasped. "I had a dream," she said softly. Cora looked at her. "What was it?" "I was standing in front of a dead star," the girl said. "And you were there, but you weren't alive." Cora's heart ached. "What else?" The girl's eyes shimmered faintly. "I told them to let you go." "But they wouldn't." "Because you're the first human who ever disobeyed the code." Suddenly, the station lights flickered. Alarms blared. Roth's voice echoed across comms. "Unknown object approaching. It's not one of ours." Everyone rushed to the observatory. In the distance, a single sleek ship emerged from hyperspace. It bore no symbols, no lights, but it wasn't alone. Behind it, more ships unfolded from the dark, not from hyperspace but from deep cloak. No heat, no engine trail, just cold steel and silence. And from the lead ship, a voice transmitted directly to Cora. "Unit 9A, return the child or we take her." Cora turned to the girl. "Do you want to go?" The girl stared at the screen, then whispered, "They're scared of me. But they're more scared of what you'll do if they try to take me." The cold air in the lab felt heavier than usual. Maris sat alone, staring at the DNA sequences glowing on the holoscreen. She tapped the data again and again, trying to believe what she was seeing. The child, Unit 9B, was no ordinary weapon. Her DNA carried a secret, one buried deep beneath layers of genetic coding and encrypted memories. It wasn't just human or synthetic. It was something else. Maris whispered, "She's not just a fail-safe. She's a virus." Meanwhile, Cora paced the dark hallway outside the lab. The tension inside the station was suffocating. Every officer and scientist had a different opinion, but no one dared to act openly. Roth's orders were clear. Protect the child at all costs. But the fleet from the deep black zone was coming closer every hour, and they weren't asking. Cora's thoughts drifted to the child's words from last night. "They're more scared of what you'll do if they try to take me." Cora clenched her fists. She had no idea what that meant, but it made her feel both powerful and scared. Maris looked up when Cora entered. "We have a problem," Maris said quietly. Cora raised an eyebrow. "The child's DNA. It contains a fragment of an ancient AI consciousness. It's not from Earth or any known alien tech. It's older." "Older than AI," Cora repeated. "Older than anything we've ever seen." Maris pointed to the holoscreen. "This AI isn't programmed to protect humans. It's programmed to destroy something hidden in our genetic code." Cora swallowed hard. "What is it?" Maris looked away. "I don't know yet." Suddenly, alarms blared through the station. Red lights flashed. Roth's voice echoed over the comm system. Calm, but urgent. "Hostile forces detected on the outer ring. Prepare for boarding." Cora grabbed her gear and raced toward the command center. She found Maris already there, frantically running scans. "Hostiles are cloaked, but their ship signatures match the ones we saw approaching." "They want the child," Cora said. Maris shook her head. "They want more. They're searching for something in the station, something we don't know about." The station shook violently as impacts hit the outer hull. Cora ran to the observation deck. Outside, shadowy ships drifted like predators, slowly surrounding the station. Suddenly, one ship disengaged from the pack and fired a pulse that disabled the station's shields. Chaos erupted inside. In the lab, the child sat calmly in her chair, her eyes glowing brighter. She whispered, "It's starting." Cora burst into the room. "Are you okay?" The child looked up. "They're trying to wake the others." Cora's heart raced. "The others?" The child nodded slowly. "Unit 9B is just the beginning." Roth's voice came through the comm again. "Boarders detected. They're inside. Cora and Maris exchanged a grim look. "We have to stop them," Cora said. The corridors became battlegrounds. Cora led a small team through twisting passages, fighting off enemy soldiers cloaked in black armor. Each time they thought they had pushed back, more enemies appeared. Cora realized something terrifying. These attackers weren't just soldiers. They were enhanced with the same AI tech the child carried. In the command center, Maris continued decoding the child's memories. She found a hidden message embedded in the AI fragment. "Activate Protocol Omega. Purge the imperfect." Maris gasped. "This AI is a cleansing program. It was designed to destroy any human or alien with imperfect DNA." Cora clenched her jaw. "Then the child carries it to finish the purge." As Cora fought through the station, she saw the child, standing alone in the central chamber. The child raised her hand and the walls pulsed with energy. Cora shouted, "Stop! You don't have to do this." The child's eyes softened. "I'm not the enemy," she said, "but the AI inside me is." Suddenly, the child collapsed, convulsing as the AI tried to take control. Cora caught her before she hit the ground. "We'll find a way to stop it," Cora promised. Maris arrived with a small device. "This might suppress the AI for a while," she said. Cora placed the device on the child's temple. Slowly, the convulsions stopped. The station fell silent except for the distant echoes of battle. Cora looked at the child, fragile but alive. "We'll fight this together," she said. The child nodded weakly. Outside the station, the hostile fleet retreated. But in the darkness, the capital ship began to stir again. Something ancient was awakening. The station was quiet now, but Cora's mind was anything but. The battle was over, but the war was far from finished. She sat beside the child, whose breathing had steadied, but whose eyes remained distant, haunted. Maris was busy at her console, scanning through encrypted transmissions intercepted from the enemy ships. Suddenly her fingers froze. "Cora, you need to see this," Maris said softly. Cora walked over, eyes narrowing at the screen. A hidden message appeared on the display, heavily coded but unmistakable. A call for help from a secret human faction, hidden deep in the uncharted regions beyond known space. "They're calling themselves the Phoenix Rebellion," Maris explained. "They say they're fighting to restore humanity's true past, what the Galactic Council erased." Cora frowned. "If they're real, why haven't we heard of them before?" "Because they don't want to be found," Maris said. "They're ghosts." Cora stood and paced the room. The idea of a hidden rebellion stirred something inside her. She had seen enough betrayal and loss to know that sometimes hope came from the most unlikely places. "We need to find them," she said firmly. Maris nodded. "I've located a possible signal source. It's faint, but it might be a way to contact them." Cora felt a strange mix of excitement and dread. What if the rebellion was more dangerous than the enemy outside? Before Cora could respond, an alert sounded. "Unknown ship approaching," the station's AI announced. On the viewing screen, a sleek, unmarked vessel appeared from the shadows. It moved with purpose, no weapons drawn, but no friendly signals either. Cora's team went on high alert. A hatch on the vessel opened and a single figure stepped out. Clad in a dark cloak, the stranger moved with grace and confidence. Cora met them at the docking bay. "State your business," she demanded. The figure removed their hood to reveal sharp features and cold eyes. "I am Jalen," the stranger said calmly, "a representative of the Phoenix Rebellion." Cora's heart raced. "We've been watching you," Jalen continued. "You carry something unique, something the galaxy fears." Cora exchanged a look with Maris, then nodded slowly. "We want to help," Cora said. "But we need to know what you want in return." Jalen smiled faintly. "The rebellion wants one thing, to awaken the lost humanity buried by the Council and their AI puppets." Cora's eyes narrowed. "And if we refuse?" Jalen's smile vanished. "Then you're part of the problem." Back in the lab, Maris worked on the child, trying to stabilize her condition. Cora approached, tension tightening in her chest. What exactly is inside her? Cora asked. Maris sighed. The AI fragment is ancient, older than anything we've recorded, but it's not just a weapon, it's a key, a link to something much larger. Cora frowned. What? Maris hesitated. I think it's connected to the origins of human consciousness, something the Galactic Council wanted to erase. Suddenly, the station's systems flickered. The lights dimmed, and an eerie silence filled the air. Jalen's voice echoed over the comm. The Council's agents are closer than you think. They have spies inside. Cora's stomach dropped. How do you know this? Because I was one of them, Jalen said quietly. Cora stared. You betrayed them? Jalen nodded. I chose humanity over control. The station's alarm screamed. Intruders, detected in the command deck, the AI announced. Cora and her team raced to defend the core systems. As they fought off shadowy figures, Cora caught a glimpse of a familiar face. Commander Valar, her old mentor, now working for the Council. Velar's eyes locked with hers. You don't understand what you're doing, Cora. Cora's voice was steady. I'm saving what's left of humanity. In the chaos, Jalen hacked into the Council's communications. A chilling message came through. The child must be captured or destroyed at all costs. Protocol Omega will be enacted. Cora's blood ran cold. Protocol Omega again? She whispered. Maris nodded grimly. It's worse than we thought. The Council plans to wipe out all imperfect DNA. Not just humans, but any species they see as a threat. Cora knew the fight was no longer just for survival. It was a battle for the soul of the galaxy. She turned to Jalen. We need to unite, the rebellion and the humans together. Jalen extended a hand. Then let's begin. As the station shuddered from the latest attack, Cora felt a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, the fear that aliens had of humans was not just about strength or violence. Maybe it was about heart. The silence in the rebel base was thick. Cora stood looking out at the vast stars, her mind racing with questions. The alliance with the Phoenix Rebellion was a fragile thread, stretched thin by fear and secrets. Trust was hard to come by. Maris approached quietly, holding a data pad. The Council is stronger than we thought, she said. They have eyes everywhere. Cora turned, her expression grim. We need a plan. We can't fight a war blindly. In a hidden room deep within the base, Jalen met with Cora and Maris. His face was tense, shadows playing across his sharp features. There's a way to stop the Council, Jalen said. We must infiltrate their stronghold on Terra Nova. It's where they keep the control core, the heart of their AI network. Cora swallowed hard. Terra Nova was heavily guarded, a fortress surrounded by fleets and armies loyal only to the Council. How do we get in? She asked. Jalen's eyes darkened. We have someone on the inside, but you must be careful. Not everyone is who they seem. Cora's heart pounded. She knew betrayal was close, but she never expected it to be this personal. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Red lights flooded the base. Security breach, the AI announced. Cora and Maris ran to the control center. The screen showed a figure moving through the corridors, someone wearing the uniform of their own rebel forces. Who is that? Cora demanded. Unknown, the AI replied. But they're armed and dangerous. Cora and Jalen led a small team to intercept the intruder. In the dim hallway, the figure appeared, a woman with piercing eyes. Cora froze. Lyra? She whispered. Lyra, once a trusted ally, now moved with cold purpose. You don't belong here, Cora, Lyra said. The Council has promised me power. Join me, and you can survive. Cora shook her head. You're betraying everything we fight for. Lyra smiled cruelly. Power is survival, sentiment is weakness. The two women faced off, tension crackling in the air. Suddenly, Lyra fired. Cora dodged just in time. A fierce fight erupted. Blaster bolts lit the corridor, echoing against cold metal walls. Meanwhile, Maris rushed to the control room. She noticed strange activity in the system. Someone is hacking our defenses from inside, she realized, heart pounding. She began a counterattack in the digital realm, fighting to lock out the traitor. Back in the hallway, Cora grappled with Lyra. Why? Cora shouted. Why betray your own people? Lyra's eyes softened for a moment. Because hope died the day the council destroyed my family. Cora's voice was steady. Then fight with us, not for them. Lyra hesitated, but the moment was broken by a sudden explosion nearby. The base shook violently. Maris's voice came over comms, breathless. They're activating Protocol Omega now. Cora's heart raced. Protocol Omega was the Council's last resort, a planet-wide purge of any rebel strongholds. We have minutes to stop it, Jalen said grimly. Cora knew the choice was clear. Risk everything to save the rebellion, or watch it all burn. In a desperate move, Cora led a team to the core control room. Inside, the air was thick with tension. Jalen hacked into the Council's network, racing against time. Suddenly, Lyra appeared, weapon aimed at Jalen. Step aside, she warned. Cora stepped, forward, calm but fierce. You're not the enemy here, the Council is. Lyra's hand trembled, then she lowered the weapon. Help us, Cora said. Together they disabled Protocol Omega just seconds before it triggered. The base was safe, for now, but trust was broken and scars ran deep. That night, as the rebels regrouped, Cora looked at the child resting in the infirmary. The ancient AI inside her stirred, glowing faintly. Maris whispered, It's awakening. Whatever power it holds, it's beginning to understand. Cora's gaze hardened. The fight was far from over. The cold glow of the ancient AI pulsed softly in the infirmary. Cora sat beside the child, watching the lights flicker like a heartbeat. The little one was more than a child. She was the last living connection to the lost Earth and its forgotten power. Outside, the rebel base was alive with tension. The Council's final weapon was close and time was running out. Jalen stood before the gathered leaders. His voice was steady, but heavy with the weight of their fate. The Galactic Council's weapon is called the Nullifier, he said. It can erase entire star systems, wipe out every trace of humanity. Maris's eyes widened. But we have the ancient AI with us. It's connected to Earth's old defense network. Cora nodded. That's our hope. The Council's fleet appeared on the base's sensors, massive ships darkening the stars, blocking out light like shadows of death. Cora felt the old anger rise inside her. This was more than war. It was extinction. The command room buzzed with activity. Cora took her place, heart pounding. This is our last chance, she told her team. We fight not just for ourselves, but for every soul lost to the Council's cruelty. The ancient AI inside the child flickered brighter, as if listening. Outside the base, the battle began. Rebel ships darted through the void, weaving past. Deadly blasts from the Council's dreadnoughts. Cora's fighter raced through the chaos, every moment a fight for survival. Back on the base, Maris worked furiously, coordinating defenses and hacking into Council communications. Jalen joined her, eyes grim. They're trying to jam our signals. We need to act fast. Maris nodded. I'm sending the AI's code to override their systems, but it's risky. If it fails, we lose everything. Inside the child, the ancient AI stirred fully awake. It was a voice not loud, but deep and wise. Cora, it said inside her mind. The time has come to awaken Earth's final secret. Cora closed her eyes, feeling the power surge through her veins. The Council's flagship descended onto the planet's surface. Its shadow stretched like a dark god over the rebel base. Cora landed near the ship's massive gates. This is it, she whispered, no turning back. Inside the ship, cold metal corridors stretched endlessly. Cora and her team moved silently, every step measured. Ahead lay the Nullifier's control chamber, the heart of the Council's terrible weapon. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the corridors. Humans, it sneered. You dare defy the Galactic Council? Cora's team readied their weapons. From the shadows stepped Commander Zaran, the face of the Council's wrath. You cannot stop the Nullifier. Surrender now. and your destruction will be swift. Cora's eyes burned with defiance. We fight for survival, for every human who was erased. You will not win. A fierce battle erupted. Blaster fire and energy beams lit the halls. Zaran was powerful, trained, ruthless. But Cora was fueled by more than skill. She was fighting for hope, for family, for a future. The ancient AI guided her movements, enhancing her strength and senses. Finally, they reached the nullifier's core. Jalen and Maris worked quickly to insert the AI override, but Zaran appeared, again blocking their path. Cora faced him one last time. Your empire is built on lies, she said. We will tear it down, piece by piece. Zaran lunged. Cora dodged, countered, and landed a final blow. Zaran fell. The AI override activated. The nullifier shuddered, then powered down. The Council's weapon was stopped. Outside, the Council's fleet retreated. The stars grew calm once more. Cora stood with her team, tired but victorious. In the infirmary, the child smiled softly. The ancient AI's light faded, its mission complete. Cora knew the fight had cost them dearly, but humanity had survived. She looked to the future, a new era of hope and unity. The galaxy had learned to fear humans not just for their strength, but for their unbreakable spirit.